Hi everybody, this is Jeff from the Critter Factory. Yes, and I wanted to start Crittercast off with a bang, but I'm probably not going to. I don't know how impressive of a video this is going to be, but I did think it was absolutely imperative and necessary to start off on the right foot. And I think what this video is, it's going to be titled Forming Mutually Beneficial Forming Mutually Beneficial Relationships Through Self-Critique. And I think it's not only important, of course, for me, but I think it's important as a whole to really understand this concept and how we can use a little bit of looking at ourselves, looking at what we do, understanding our actions to really make mutually beneficial situations for everybody we interact with. And if you're striving to make a mutually beneficial situation, you're always striving to do what's best for you, but you're also always striving to do what's best for others. So you are always questioning what you can do to be better. And I think that is an essential way to make not only a good business, but just good relationships, and not only business relationships, of course, but interpersonal relationships as well. And this philosophy is incredibly important to our business ethos, right? So this is where we have to start. And where I'm starting is actually a message that I received this morning. And I regret to inform you that this wonderful topic, this philosophy that I'm touting is some sort of wonderful thing that's so imperative, something that was largely forgot by myself. And that's something that I've seen a lot of decay in, not only in myself, but of course, other fursuit artists that I've talked to and stuff. This doesn't represent all fursuit artists by any means, but some of the people I've talked to, we tend to have this kind of cynical decay. We tend to start to see commissioners as adversarial, and we really are starting to get, we can really get bad relationships from not understanding how to create a mutually beneficial situation. So this kind of became a glaring reality for me early this morning when I feel that I responded to an email incorrectly. And if I may, I'd like to read the email I received. Hey, after reading a couple articles on your suits, I really don't think I want to get any kind of suit from you. Sorry, but bad ventilation will trigger my anxiety pretty bad, and I just can't risk that. Now, of course, my initial response was somewhat defensive, and I didn't really listen to what this person was saying. And remember that reading subtext and looking deeper into something is a big part of listening. Even if you're getting a very small, this is only 2 sentences, but when we explore this, I'll show you how much information that these 2 sentences have actually told me. My response was this: I'm sorry, what articles? Each head shape and the way it is put together will dictate the ventilation. It is not a set thing at all. I can look back at that and say it's just too short. I mean, is it the right message? I feel that in some ways it is. I'm not going to sit here and defend myself too much to the point where it's like, oh, well, I am infallible. I think I brought up good points, but I brought them up in such a bad way that there's no way to recognize that, and that is certainly my fault. So, this is what we could read from the subtext of that seemingly simple message. Somebody has said to me, after reading a couple of articles on your suits, I don't think I really want to get a suit from you. And then they mentioned the fact that, sorry, but bad ventilation will trigger my anxiety pretty bad, and I just can't risk that. They have told me how important it is that I listen to this singular message, that because they have heard from other individuals that there is a mere possibility of bad ventilation, that it might blow the deal completely, that they cannot even risk it. That is what they're telling me. They're saying, Jeff, it is so imperative that you understand that I would rather have no anxiety and no fursuit from you than even risk it. That says quite a lot, doesn't it? Now, of course, you can see why I would get defensive by that kind of thing and take umbrage by the fact that, they didn't specify these articles. I mean, this suit, think about it. This suit could be years old, right? This could be a suit from 5 or 6 years ago. This could be this something like my very first costume, where I made it out of chicken wire and I don't know, paper mache and used fish tanks. I don't know. This could be several. There could be several reasons why this message had occurred. It does point to one thing, though, that Crittercast needs to exist. that this has to happen because this shows a lack of positive feedback, or even well, I shouldn't say positive or negative feedback, because that's actually what my next point is. It's up to me to decide whether it's positive or negative from what I read out of it and what I can gain from it, right? So the very fact that Crittercast needs to exist is really all there, saying that I need to make sure that I'm addressing you. What needs, what do we need to make your costume better? And that's so important. And then, of course, that's this is all out of 2 sentences. And yes, so I need to have Crittercast to let them know what is going on and why that may have happened. And if I don't know, that's one thing, but we have to ask, why don't I know that? Why don't I know that these articles exist? Why not? Am I just not paying attention? Am I not open up to suggestion enough? And that's, again, coming back to, I believe that this is going to be a huge solution to that, to say, yes, come, my people, yes, tell me what we can do to be better. Because now we have opened the doors to make a mutually beneficial solution right off the bat. We can make a costume that has better ventilation than ever before, and then offer it to the entire line of all of our costumes, which means not only me, that looks good for doing that, which is a great thing. But a better thing is the fact that they know that they don't have to worry about suffering from anxiety because of buying a costume from me. And that's a huge benefit to them. And then everybody else in line, everyone else is going to benefit from being able to breathe better in their costumes, which shows a great market discipline to say that you need to make sure that your costumes look good, sure, but are they comfortable? And if they're comfortable and they look good, you have made yourself really a really great business model, and you can really please the people. And that's exactly why I started this. And it's really a good time to refocus on why I started doing this in the first place, and that was to make people happy. And if I fell into the cynicism of everything, and really kind of it overcame that kind of thing, then I owe it to you and myself to smack myself around and say, welcome to Crittercast. I'm Jeff. Pleased to meet you. I would love to discuss everything and start forging these all so important relationships with every single one of you. So let's no longer put anybody on any kind of pedestal. Let's not say that this should be one way or another thing. Let's question the whole system. Let's say, why are we doing these things? Why have we fallen into these patterns? And really start nipping it into the bud and start creating a situation where every action that we're trying to do is not only trying to benefit somebody else, but also benefit ourselves. This is not a zero-sum game. It never has been. And if we're getting cynical to the point where we believe it's a zero-sum game, then that's exactly where we need to address as far as any kind of grievances or problems. It starts right there. So I answered wrong. I admit to that. I'm sending this video off to the person because it was, I cannot thank them enough for sending these 2 sentences this morning, because it really makes such a huge difference to really read into the subtext and to really understand. And I think this is really becoming a turning point for the Critter Factory, where we, I like to say that we were in our Pinkerton years, where maybe we weren't so understood, and maybe people didn't really. If you're a Weezer fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But maybe it's some of our best work yet, but because we're misunderstood, that it's not reaching the audience that we should. And again, that's why I'm here talking to you right now. And it's a renewed commitment to kick ass and take names. And I really want to do that. And that's what I had to do, is I had to stop and ask, what do I want to do? What do I want out of this? And when I said, I want to create awesome costumes and really make any little small part of it better where I can, then it became so apparent why this Crittercast had to happen. So, if this is just some sort of eccentric kind of manic video that you think it is, I assure you, it is well thought out, and I've really pondered everything in it for quite a while, and this was really just the catalyst to say, yes, just come to a head, and I really want to do this. So welcome to Crittercast. Welcome to the Critter Factory. It is a pleasure to meet you. If you like this kind of thing, if you like what I'm saying, if you really think that this is a positive message that you think that not only needs to be part of just our business between each other, but just in interpersonal relationships of always striving to do mutually beneficial situations, then subscribe. This is what I hope to give. I hope to give as much of this as possible as I can in applying this kind of methodology to everything we can and will do in the future. And I cannot guarantee 100% success, but one thing I will add at the end is what's wrong with failure? What's wrong with admitting there was a mistake if you're willing to correct it? So welcome to my neuroses. No, I'm just kidding. Welcome to the Critter Factory. How can we help you today? Thank you so much for tuning in, and if you like this, subscribe, and I really look forward to your comments, suggestions, and anything else. It'll be a pleasure to make this kind of thing come alive. Again, Jeff from the Creative Factory signing out. Have a wonderful day.